Hi everyone, it's Tex again from clipsontherun.com, and this is a tutorial about the new classes section that's been added to the cloud tab in your members video area. For the non-technical out there, all that the word cloud means for us is just the servers that you run in your AWS account, which means they're running remotely in a data center run by Amazon. It's just like the computer you're using right now to watch or read this, but it's located out in the cloud or online. The cloud section is important to you because to use any asset, whether it be a picture or image, audio files as background music, or the video's narrative track or both, and video files etc., need to be re-encoded to a small extent by the Movie Masher. All it really needs to do is generate a little thumbnail image and place the files into its own specific media folders in its own structure. So it doesn't normally need to be anything more than the micro instance that AWS provides 750 hours of free usage a month for in the free tier plan they provide. So once you've uploaded your files into the inbox folder, like this, before we can use them in the Movie Masher timeline, we need to start up a render server on our AWS account, and then afterwards we select the files we want to use in our current project and then import them into that project. So we'll go to the cloud section and I'll explain the class system that Jeremy has built for you. Class to me just means a shortcut with an image to differentiate the different servers. You can ignore all the following if you want and just start instances directly. And it will still work the same. This is all just to make it easier for you to be able to have a nice, clean and easy workflow. As you can see, I've created 3 different size classes here to make it easier and quicker to start them up again later instead of having to manually configure them every time. These won't be in your own cloud section, as we can't create them on our end because of different areas and regions and stuff that Amazon works in. So you'll have to do so. Here I've got a asset micro encoder instance. When you hover over it, you can see the full description that you'll be putting in yourself for these. To create these, all you do is click on the new class button up the top, put in a class name that you want, something like free micro instance assets. So it's for free micro instance for encoding assets. Okay, I'm going to select dark green for this one. There are 3 different widths that you can set these up depending on your screen size. Little tiny compact one, standard, and wide. I like to use wide because I've got dual 23-inch monitors, so it just makes it easier. Now select the icon. Use Amazon AWS. I prefer to use Movie Masher since these are the servers that we've rebuilt that Movie Masher uses. Okay, now in the description, I'm just going to copy this, paste it into there, or you can make it longer so that when you hover over it you see that full sentence. In here you select your Amazon account if you have more than one. If you only have one, it will be pre-selected. Availability zone, I just put any zone and it selects the closest one to me. And the next section is pretty easy. For the image ID, which is this one, just select the render server 1.02. You can see the older one there, but it's broken and it's going to be removed shortly. So select that. And because this is the micro instance, the one that you get 750 hours a month free usage from Amazon free trial system, you select micro X2 613 megabyte of RAM 3264-bit. And don't forget you can check the instance types or EC2 price guide by clicking on these for the costs. But using the free trial, you get the micro X2, which means it has up to 2 virtual cores for 750 hours free a month. Okay, now because we want this one just for encoding assets and not rendering videos, we'll deselect render and export jobs, and you can select the automatically shutdown time from the drop down list to never, which is what I normally have on a micro instance because it costs me nothing. Anything from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, but if you use those, you'll still be charged for a full hour, and we know that 8.5 cents for a full hour, there's no point in wasting it, only using it for 30 minutes. Standard default drop down is 2 hours because sometimes it takes you an hour to mess around and create videos exactly the way you want them and so on. But if you're working an 8-hour day, just select 8 hours and it'll turn itself off at the end of the day without you having to worry about it. So I'm going to change that to never, click OK. As you can see down the bottom, there's our brand new class. Now to start the instance, just simply click on the class button down the bottom, start instance, and it pops up again with all of your info that you just put in, just so you can double check it again, and then you click on OK. There's our instance. As you can see with the cute little dialy thing, it's showing it as starting up. I'll just pause for a moment while that gets started. It takes up to a minute sometimes to get these started. Sometimes they're a lot quicker, depends on server usage at Amazon Web Services. Back in a second. And there we go. Server is up and running. Time set to never. This is the normal small look showing that it's running, and then when you click on that it expands, and you can actually change the timeline. Like if you know you're going out in 2 hours, if you select that, then that will change in a few minutes to 2 hours time from now by itself, but I'll change it back to never. Okay, so now we'll quickly create an instance for when we decide to actually render a video. And the easiest way to do that is just to click on copy class, and it'll create a duplicate of it, and we'll change the name of this one to small video rendering instance. And we'll copy that down into the description and change this one to dark blue so that it differentiates from the other one. Going to keep the same Movie Masher icon, same Amazon account, same render server, but we're going to run this one on a small server. Now you notice it says times 1.7 gigabytes of RAM, 32-bit. What the X1 means is this one uses a single virtual server, a CPU, but it's a larger CPU slice allowed for this one than it is for the micro. The micro will burst up to 2 times virtual CPU, but if you use that for anything longer than a few seconds at a time, they actually cut you back to below its normal level. So because we already have an encoder running for doing the assets, which I'll show you in a minute, we just want this one to render and export jobs. So we'll set this one as standard for 2 hours, and we'll click OK, and there's our new class. Small video rendering instance, free micro instance for encoding assets only. Okay, so let's go back over to here. This is our inbox for a project that we've created earlier for our fish and chip shops in Arizona. And to get our images and file assets and such up to the project, all we do is we select. So then all we do is click import, and it brings up a list, and if you have more than one project in there, they'll all be listed in there, and you decide which project you want to be able to put your files into. Click import, and we'll just go over to the Q1, and as you can see, two of them are enqueued are coded already. Let's keep doing a refresh, and in the project area, if we click on OK, go into our Fish and Chips project, you can see them appearing in there as they're encoded. And then once they're all encoded, we'll go back to the project, but I just want to show you here, when it's busy doing something, it shows the little busy icon next to it. And there we go, they're all finished. So we're back into the project. You can see the new files that were added. Just refresh if they haven't updated, and you'll see a size next to them once they've been encoded as assets for the project that you're doing. And then once you go in here, you click on all to refresh it. There are new files ready. As you can see, it just created the thumbnail for it and put it in a directory where it can find it more easily for its internal use. And we click on images, and you can see them all again. And when you hover over them, you can see the full image name, plus the tag that we're applying to them, which says image. These are images. These are my intro and outro meshes that I've created, as well as the test AVI that I've uploaded. Then once you've done that, all you need to do, if you want, is to start a new class for a medium render instance. Of course, again, we just go to copy class. I like to make these black so that they stand out a bit more as being the heavies. We'll make this one medium instance. Same account, render server, same. Changes to medium. Now it says medium, but it's a high CPU medium, and it's actually got 5 virtual cores, 1.7 gigabytes of RAM, and 32-bit platform. We're going to upgrade these to 64-bit as soon as we can, and you can use like extra large 8 virtual cores, 15 gig of RAM, high memory quad extra large, 26 virtual cores when you're doing really heavy video rendering or re-encoding of videos. Okay, and again, just going to leave it for 2 hours and click OK. And there we have a nice new medium video rendering instance. Okay, that's the end of the new class or shortcut tutorial. I assure you I'll be back for more soon. Thanks for watching or reading if you're using the PDF version. I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.